Are you spending hours or even days drowning in spreadsheets? It's tedious, mind-numbing work where one tiny mistake can cause a massive headache down the line. But what if you could just describe the perfect finished product you want and then hand over your messy collection of files and have a team of genius data analysts build it for you in minutes? And all while you're grabbing a cup of coffee. In this video, I'm going to show you how to command an army of AI agents to do exactly that, and then we're going to put them to the test to see which one did it best. Today, we're tackling a complex facilities maintenance schedule, but don't click away if you're not an engineer. The core task here, taking multiple sources of messy data, understanding complex roles, and creating a single organized output is something that people in finance, marketing, legal research, and a lot of other fields could do every single day. AI tools and methods that we're about to use are universal problem solvers, and then stick around to the end because I'm going to give you specific examples of how you can apply these same techniques to completely different industries and then to save yourself a ton of time. I'm Evan Goldstein. I'm a licensed professional engineer and a data scientist. I'm building the AI Capitalist channel to give you the AI tools that you need to conquer the business world. Now today, we're commanding a team of AI agents to take messy, incomplete data and then build out lists and automatically build a complete schedule. First, we're going to turn my verbal instructions into a high-quality prompt that AI can understand. Then we're going to unleash 4 different AI agents on the problem, and then we'll see which one performs best. A reward at the end is going to be a perfectly completed schedule, but more accurate than any human could do, and in about 5% of the time that it would take the smartest person to do by hand. Let's get going. What we're looking at here is a maintenance schedule that I'm developing for the central utility plant. We worked on a few days ago to develop tag identification for. So these are all the asset ID numbers, those 5-digit tags, little stickers we put on all the equipment. Column A, identifier, is a grouping of equipment that will go into a single P. From 2 to line to row 21 here, to row 18, this is the part I've worked out so far. And this is based on conversations I had with the technicians in the plants who have to get input from the actual workers. Column B is the main equipment type. So the boiler here might have a pump, might have some water softening equipment, but overall, this is all just the agglomerated, kind of all the equipment around this piece of it. So here you have refrigeration machine 1, refrigeration machine 2, and lines 12, 13, 14. These put chilled water and they send it around the whole facility to go into air conditioners to run through coils to make cold air. Air handling unit, and we have a couple air handling units that are actually cooling the system as well. Now down here, I haven't really worked out below line 18. I have a few where they've told me what the start months are. Column D here is the start month. So 9 is September, 8 is August, etc. Now in this case, some of these either have no PM, so we ignore them, or we've decided on the start months, it's partially done, but these are based also on conversations from the plant in column D. What we need to do now, column E has whether it's, do we hit it once a year or twice a year? And then we have the asset IDs here. Now the second worksheet, that was the schedules worksheet. Second worksheet is building equipment. So here, this is all the equipment that's in that building. What we need to do, all this equipment somehow logged on here, even if it's a no PM. We also want the equipment conglomerated. So we don't want every chemical feed pump that appears on building equipment to have its very own preventive maintenance task, because then these guys are working on their iPads, it's going to fill up with tasks. For all these booster pumps, there should be, for example, all 9 booster pumps should be on one work task. So what we're looking for at the end is the schedules to be filled out. Anything that's already been defined on here should remain defined. And then we want to fill out all of the blanks and the empty spots and build out any sort of PMs that we need to. In some cases, like lake water pumps or traveling screens, there's no tag. We haven't tagged that, but it still needs to appear on this list. So this is all contained within the But how do you get an AI to understand? Next step. Okay, I just recorded that part of the video for your benefit, but I always like to try to think, how do I get AI to do as much of my job as possible for me? So rather than writing a prompt, first off, what I want to do is get an AI to write a prompt for me that I can then plug into an agent to do this work for me. So what I have found, the best AI for analyzing video and reading and understanding video is, without a doubt, Google AI Studio. It's the only one you can even attach them to anyway. So I'm going to attach this. Okay, here's the video I made. All right, I tried to upload it to Google AI Studio, but it just doesn't accept videos anymore. That's a major change. That's a shame. How the mighty have fallen. Current model does not support files of this type. This is a huge problem with AI right now. The landscape changes so fast that a tool that was brilliant yesterday is obsolete today. Also, they're giving away, the providers are giving away a lot of their processing power and a lot of their tools for free right now to get you hooked. So I've been uploading videos to AI Studio for quite some time. Now, all of a sudden, it's rejecting them because it obviously took up too much of their processing power. But stick with me because the workaround I'm about to show you is just as powerful, if not more. Okay, so let's go to ChatGPT. I uploaded it there. I tried in Claude, it didn't work. Uploaded it here. I'm going to say the following. I want you to examine the attached video, look at all of the actions that I'm requesting, and then write a prompt, which I can use with an agentic editor or an agentic AI system, such as Claude or GenSpark or Manus or any other. And then I can attach the file that I showed in the video, and then it should execute the steps. But I want you to write it properly so that it can be most compatible with an agentic AI system. Okay, and now we just let it run. So I tried this with ChatGPT, and about 28 seconds later, turning this into an actual prompt, not the maintenance scheduling MP4 file. So it's going through a plan of action, telling me what it wants to do, and a bunch of blah, blah. So we're just going to take this and see if we can make this work. So we'll start a new chat, and I'm going to attach the video. I did a lower resolution version here, so I'll just attach that, make it a little easier on it. Okay, video editing is... If at first you don't succeed, try again. So I'm going to instead do this the old-fashioned way. I'm going to take the script. So I just took the transcription of the script from my video recording software that I'm actually recording this video on. I'm going to attach the good old Excel file we were talking about. And then I'm going to let Claude turn my words into a much better written prompt. And about 5 minutes later, Claude has come up with this prompt here. I'm just going to read through it, and looks good. Okay, so the output requirements provide a completed Excel file, but not all the agents can actually do that we're going to test out today. So I'm going to add another column. So I just said provide a tabular schedule that can be easily copied and pasted into Microsoft Excel. That way you can use this with the more text outputting agents as well. Just going to take this, add one more thing. I'm going to say, sure that... So the only other thing I added here was that you have to ensure that the worst task issuance is balanced over the entire schedule. Predefined routines have to remain scheduled for the same months as defined on the existing schedule, but for unscheduled tasks, for things we haven't figured out yet, we want to schedule these at other unused months to balance out the workload for our workers. Copy all that. And step one, I'm going to try the Claude on desktop, the desktop app, and see how that does. I've never used it for this sort of task before. Attach the file and go. Next, go to GenSpark. Attach the maintenance, insert the prompt, and go. Go to Manus, turn it into an agent, attach my file, go. We go to Perplexity Labs. And lastly, Perplexity Labs, off you go. So just to make sure everything's running well, we've got Claude running here, and it's building some codes to upload the Excel file into its guts. Manus is chugging away. GenSpark, it's chugging away. It's building a whole notebook to run this program. It's building its own program to execute the Python code to get the schedule written up right. There we have Perplexity Labs is doing the same thing. I'll check back with you in a moment. We've just launched a bake-off between 4 of the most powerful AI agents on the planet. Which one will be fastest, and which one will be the most accurate, and which one will fail completely? The results are going to surprise you. So at least in terms of timing, the winner is Perplexity, even though it was last out of the gate. Developed a maintenance schedule right here, giving me a nice monthly distribution. Boy, it really got into it too. It's explaining to me how it built it out. It was able to look at the schedule and figure out which group takes care of which piece of equipment, which trade. That's an extra. That's extra credit. Balanced out the workload. It even marked those that don't have equipment tags. Now, let's see how this actually looks. Copy this. Let's download. Okay, looking at the schedule developed by Perplexity in more detail. So this is nice, but I gave it the IDs, the field IDs, the asset IDs for, say, chemical feed pumps. And there's nothing here. There's nothing in the asset IDs column. So it didn't get to that part of its assignment. It did seem to get the sump and ejector pumps and the switch gears. So this is a problem. Next to complete is GenSpark. GenSpark made an Excel schedule and a detailed summary report. Oh, I like summary reports. Look what you did. Now with GenSpark, it seems to have added a little bit, but everything is field verify asset IDs. I wonder if it's having trouble reading from the spreadsheet, from the second worksheet that had all the asset IDs on it. Now with Manus, I've opened up schedule developed by Manus. It's good. They're distributing very well. They've also alphabetized. Interesting, but they kept the boiler names. There we go. Okay. The problem is they changed the schedule here. They weren't supposed to do that. Some of these schedule dates are hard coded in. It depends. There's more involved because it depends when the boilers are going to be operating. You want to get in there and maintain them right before the busy season starts with the boilers, which is around September, really October. And it starts getting cold. Now for Claude, it's done. It's claiming to have done exactly what I told it to. But if you actually look at it, it tells me what a great job it did, how it's balanced out, give me the workload and everything. It's not actually giving me the schedule though. So I say, please output the completed schedule, including all equipment and asset ID. There we go. Okay, so I've taken Claude's output and I've put it here in this spreadsheet. And so far, this is the best that I've seen. Wow, they even gave me an asset ID summary. Here's the problem. Meetings. The problem here is that I'm just spot checking on these chemical feed pumps, which I know we have a bunch of. And the asset ID column for those is still empty. What I think is happening here is that I gave it both of these in one schedule, in one Excel spreadsheet. So you can see all the chemical feed pumps here, and these all need to be listed. These chem feed pumps need to be listed within this spreadsheet in this column. So it just couldn't read it for some reason. This is where 90% of people give up. They see that the AI made a mistake and they assume that the entire approach is flawed. But if you're liking what you're seeing so far, hit the like button because I'm about to show you the simple two-step trick that turns a failed attempt into a perfect final product. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload it as a separate, since I like this one the best in Claude, I'm going to upload the asset list as a separate file, and then I'm going to tell it to cross-reference, and we'll see how strong this can be. So I've told it that it's done a good job, but in many cases the asset ID column is blank, even though we do have the equipment to associate with these equipment types. So I'm going to attach the asset ID list as a separate file, and the asset name categories in column A, the asset ID is in column B, and it's a comprehensive list for all of the equipment in the plant. So I needed to cross-reference this table with the maintenance schedule that has already been built here, and then ensure that every asset ID is in its proper cell. And I want it for equipment that's not maintained to account for that by adding some rows for each of these equipment types at the bottom, and then just for start month and start schedule, insert no PM. I just want to make sure that every piece of equipment is accounted for in this plant in some way, shape, or form. And then I'm going to attach the equipment list and tell it to get to work. And go. Okay, so once again, it didn't output the actual schedule, so I just had to specifically ask it to output the specific schedule in its own artifact. And we can see, where is it? It's put in a bunch of asset ID numbers. The next step, copy this. All right, this is a thing of beauty. It's got tag numbers here. Now, here's the thing. AI does hallucinate and it does make mistakes. So we need to check our artifacts. We need to check our asset ID numbers against the original, do some spot checking and make sure all equipment is properly tucked away in the right place. So we have a bulk storage tank that is not PM'd, doesn't get maintained, so it doesn't appear on here. So looking through this, this is pretty good. It's accurately moved the asset numbers into column I here, into the asset ID column, and it's filled it in. However, it doesn't have all of the things that we need. It doesn't have all of the equipment on this list. So I'm going to be more specific. For instance, it doesn't have chemical feed pumps. So I'm just going to ask it, why aren't the chemical feed pumps and some other items from the equipment list that I uploaded previously on this list? It should be comprehensive even if the item does not have preventive maintenance activity. Every item on the original equipment list needs to be accounted for. I'm going to re-upload the equipment list for your benefit. I'm also going to move to a higher level of Claude here. And now that I'm working in Opus 4.1, maybe it'll be a little bit more detail-oriented. All right, so it's come through the schedule. It claims to have done everything. Now I'm going to tell it to output this as a tabular artifact separately. Okay, and it's been output, and it's looking pretty good here. We've got all the equipment here. Now I can just go in there and talk to the guys, talk about when they want to actually PM any of these. One last thing, they've got all the tags. Every tag's in here. I want to confirm that it's accounted for, that every asset ID is accounted for on this schedule. Now this looks perfect, right? AI claims that it's 100% complete, but AI is also a notorious liar. It's going to confidently tell you that it did something perfectly while missing key details. So how can we be absolutely sure? So I've saved it as Claude finalized PM schedule for cup. Sometimes it's good to get a fresh set of eyes on it. So I'm going to go to Gemini and I'm going to do it there. I'm going to upload a preventive maintenance schedule for a central utility plant. I'm going to upload a preventive maintenance schedule for a central utility plant. I'm also going to upload a separate spreadsheet that is an equipment list for that plant. I want you to make sure that every piece of equipment that's listed on the equipment list is reflected on the preventive maintenance schedule. On the preventive maintenance schedule, which is called Claude Finalized PM Schedule for CUP, the asset ID numbers can be found in column I. In some cases, it's just a 5-digit value in a cell. And in other cases, it's a series of digits that are, or 5-digit numbers that are comma separate. In the equipment schedule, these tag numbers appear in column B. So I need you to verify that everything in column B on the updated CUP schedule, everything in column B on the equipment list is also reflected in column I of the central utility plant maintenance schedule. And if it is not, I need you to list out any equipment that is not accounted for in that maintenance schedule. Okay, I've uploaded the files and go. So it's running, and I'm leaving it to Gemini to format, to explore the data structure, review the fields. I defined it as well as I could verbally. Okay, and it's found 3 pieces of equipment that are unaccounted for. Otherwise, everything's accounted for. So this is great news. Now I can just manually fill in the little blanks and then bring it out to the plant and see what they think of it. So what did we just accomplish? Let's recap the big picture lessons from this exercise. AI excels at data wrangling. We saw it take multiple messy files with different structures and then logically combine them based on a set of complex natural language rules that we gave it. This is a superpower for anyone who works with data. Number 2, iteration is everything. The first AI output is rarely perfect. The real magic happened when we identified the AI's mistake, we provided clear corrective feedback, and then we had it try again. This iterative loop is the key to solving complex problems. You use AI to check AI. That's number 3. We used one AI, Claude, to do the heavy lifting, and then we used a different one, Gemini, to act as a quality control inspector. Creating these systems of checks and balances is how you build trust in AI-generated work. What we did here just wasn't possible 6 months ago. The ability for an AI agent to take a high-level goal, write and execute its own data analysis code, and then interpret the results, and then refine its own work based on feedback is really the new frontier. This is far beyond simple text generation. This is an AI performing the job of a junior data analyst from start to finish. And while our example was a maintenance schedule, these capabilities are industry agnostic. So like in law, pre-legal could upload thousands of pages of discovery documents and a list of key names and dates. And then the AI could cross-reference everything to create a master timeline of events, and it could flag every document where a key person is mentioned And that could save hundreds of hours of manual review. Let's say you're in marketing, an analyst could upload a spreadsheet of customer survey responses and then another one with sales data. And the AI could cross-reference the two to find correlations between specific survey answers and purchasing behavior. And then it could generate a report on which customer sentiments led to the most sales. This is the future of knowledge work. If you want to learn how to apply these powerful agentic workflows to your business to save time, to reduce errors, or unlock new insights, visit me over at aicapitalist.biz, where I provide consulting to help businesses like yours integrate these game-changing tools. Thanks for watching.